People. Joel Benjamin 528, aka Big Money Benjamin. Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic. Silver explosion. China tightens supply as XRP tokenization change everything. Listen, got a very important show for you. Let me start by saying this. If you haven't got up on the silver when you were supposed to, shame on you. Silver done broke a record high of over $100, like I told y'all it would. Gold just broke a record high of over what, 5,000 already? This is real. What's going on? So I'm gonna play some videos for you. We're gonna get into the XRP and tokenization. That's very important. But you see, a lot of y'all out here that think y'all have real silver, real gold, it's fake. Some of y'all got some fake caca. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but hey, it is what it is. Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic. Let's get this live stream started. All right. Now, one of the places to get the best price for the gold and silver is at Course Metals. This is right here, that link that you will want to press, where you're getting the real thing fresh out the mint. A matter of fact, let me show y'all something. See this? It'll come like this in the mail. Okay? It'll come like this in the mail. See? Sealed. Look. I done told y'all to get them MS 70s, right? Just got my other one. And a lot of people that's ordering the gold and silver, they got to wait right now. Oh, yeah. They sent me a 2025 Eagle. Okay. See, MS70. See, it has the barcode 2025 Eagle. $1 coin. And I'm going to play some stuff about this. See, it comes in a case. Smooth. MS70. Fresh out the mint. So y'all would want to click, if y'all haven't got silver yet. Not only that, a lot of y'all are not able to sell your gold and silver the way you want to. You're not able to sell your gold and silver the way you want to. Here you go. That's the link. Y'all can't say I didn't put it up. And I'll put it in the description as well and comment section. All right, without further ado, we got a lot to get into tonight, so let's get into it. This is some of y'all out here. I'm telling y'all, some of y'all might think y'all safe, especially those who've been getting silver and gold from back then, who knew this day would come and think they was getting it from reputable sources. Yeah, all right. Check this out. As always, I'm going to share my screen so you see what I see. Here we go. The ills of going live, people. And now I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear this, but yeah, of course, CZ, founder of Binance, of course, he throws that up there. What's the easiest way to verify gold without destroying it? With crypto, you know with 100% certainty without doing anything. That's what he said. So basically, he's taking a poo-poo on gold and silver. So this is from Crypto Rover. Oh, why did I do that? Should have did the other way. But anyway, fake gold and silver bars are flooding the US market. This is not possible with Bitcoin. Don't trust, verify, they say. People, look, listen. I'm just a messenger. Some of y'all got a thin layer of gold over this right here, and a serial number and everything, and y'all think y'all got gold. Same with the silver. Y'all got a thin layer of silver. All right. Hold on. Let me let these people know. I'm live. I'm live. You know? I can't. I'm telling him I'm live, and he calling. I don't know. Anyway, these the ills of going live, people. The ills of going live. Let me see. Anyway, so you see that? It got a serial number and everything. Listen, I'm just a messenger. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Let me see. There's some other stuff I wanted to show y'all. Let's go through it. Since China suspended silver export, silver is up 100% in just 15 days. You didn't think China knew what they were doing? Do y'all know China is buying up basically everything? Did y'all know that? China is buying up, China and India. I've been telling y'all this for at least since 2017, 2018. China and India has been buying up large amount of silver. I've been sounding like a broken record, constantly telling y'all buy silver, buy silver, buy silver, buy silver, buy silver. And y'all chose not to listen. Y'all want to get on to At Cost Metals. Just put the link in there and you want to sign up. Okay? Some of y'all, when y'all go to turn in y'all gold and silver, yeah, it's going to be like this for some of y'all. This is what some of y'all got to deal with. Hey, I'm just a messenger. Don't get mad at me. I've been trying to put y'all on to the reputable sources. Now, let's see what the Fed's been out here doing. Check this out. Oh, hold on. Ills of going live. Hold on, people.
4% from banks.
Okay, you should be able to hear this. Listen to this. So listen what the Feds is doing.
It's a worrisome. You know, the Fed basically has become now just a giant hedge fund. It's lost $1 trillion, you know, and counting. It's going to be a gigantic loss. What it does is borrows money at 5.4% from banks and then dumps it into government bonds. So think what that trade does. That causes the government to think that it's better off than it is. And so that encouraged the government to be short when rates were zero. So why did the government, borrow so much in T-bills? Well, because the Fed was buying the bonds and it made it look like yields were going to stay low for, remember the low for long phrase.
Now, let me stop right there. Remember, you can now buy, I think it's on Ondo Finance, and they're making a next new deal with Ripple coming out very soon. But remember, you can buy the T-bills with XRP. This guy that's speaking here is the former, I repeat, the former World Bank president. Okay? Listen, he's snitching right now. I need y'all to understand that.
So we've got these multiple problems that are going on, and it endangers the dollar. So that's the basic case.
Instead of the Fed having such large balances, wouldn't the private sector be starting businesses and risking capital and bringing returns and adding to growth? Wouldn't all that money be better if it wasn't with the Fed?
That's right. And we're depending on private equity. So as the banks get squeezed out, because they're lending so much to the Fed, it's literally a floating rate loan from banks to the Federal Reserve so it can buy government bonds.
Wash,
so
rinse, repeat.
Freed up, that would allow the banks to at least consider a small business loan and inventory loan, the kinds of things that help the economy grow. And this is on a global basis. It's not just the Fed. It's all the major central banks doing the same thing, meaning taking money from the economy in order to buy government bonds. We need to be clear on that. I heard the previous segment, they talk about money printing. There isn't any money printing on it. It's just money borrowing, and they pay top dollar for it. The Fed pays 5.4 to banks and 5.3 to money market funds, so to the Fidelity and Vanguard and so on.
You think that?
All right, there you have it. Let's continue. Shanghai silver premium surge. So, hold on one second, people, because I don't understand. If I say I'm live, why people still hitting me up? These the ills of going live. So just in Shanghai, silver premium surge to $9 and $9 added on to the ounce, pushing local prices as high as $112 an ounce. Aim historical physical shortage in China. Listen to me, people. Y'all better start taking these live streams extremely seriously that I'm doing right now. I'm putting all the pieces together for you, and I'm showing you. So this was at a later time. Look at the God candle. All right, this is what we call an Omega God candle. You see that green candle? And it's going to keep going up. That's the prices in Shanghai. This is a perfect depiction of what's going on in America right now. And with all these world leaders, central banks are pivoting away from the US. India, China, Brazil, Poland are dumping US Treasury bonds and buying gold. Tariffs equals economic warfare equals backfire. Listen to me carefully. I need y'all to understand this. Japan started dumping a bunch of its T-bills, started selling, okay, their treasury bonds. Japan. I need y'all to understand that. Ripple center stage at GFTN Forum Japan. And just so you know, Japan just said by the second quarter, they're gonna be making XRP legal tender or something like that with spending. Breaking. German politicians are now pursuing the government to bring back more than 100 billion in gold from U.S. vaults. They're calling their gold back, people. They want their gold back. They want their silver back. But watch this. This is nothing new. Remember when China caught America giving them fake gold with the thin layer of gold? Let me see if I could pull up that article. I showed it to y'all before. I'm going to pull it up again. U.S. gave China fake gold. Oh, I got to type it all in. U.S. gave China, because China asked for their gold back. Or to, reclaim that debt, to come cash up on the debt. And the U.S. gave China fake gold. Let's see if what comes up. Okay, let's see what this says here. The claim that the U.S. gave China fake gold medal is false. And now we're not talking about the Olympics, damn it. Let's put fake gold bars. Claims that the U.S. government gave China fake bars are false. And see, that's why I can't deal with AI. I gotta find the actual article. How King gold jewelry fake bars slipped through. Okay, see, July 7th, 2020. This is one article we're gonna get into. I want the article of when America, and that's why it's good to save these articles. Scandal in China. 83 tons of fake gold deposits as loan. Mind you, see, this is from 2020. Okay, taking all long. Let's go here. How King gold jewelry, fake gold bars slipped through scrutiny in one of China's biggest loan scams. See, Yahoo Finance. A lot of y'all are out here with fake gold and silver. See, this came out July 7th, 2022. See, scandal in China. 83 tons of fake gold deposited as loan collateral. Yeah. I want the one with America, though. America. I can't find it. Anybody remember the live streams that when I was doing about the gold and silver? Y'all remember when I broke down how China called US out for giving them fake bars? Let me see. Now I'm gonna get obsessed with this. China say USA gave fake bars. It had tungsten in it. Fake gold bars. You see, I do everything in real time for y'all. Gold bars. Let's go bars. Let's see. Based on 2022 report, China. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Wow, yo, they really don't have this article up here. Okay, no problem. Let's continue. So Germany, they need that. They need that. NYC president confirms infrastructure for tokenization. Okay, listen to this.
So what we announced this Monday was that we've developed the infrastructure which allows for the tokenization of equity markets. And it brings in all of the positive aspects of a tokenized environment. 24/7 trading, digital settlement, immediate settlement, and writing to a blockchain, as well as what's needed in the equities markets, including fractional shares, trading in notionals, the demand that we've heard from customers.
This is a big deal.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
This is a big deal to go to a tokenized platform. Do you think every market will eventually be tokenized?
I think aspects of the technology are going to seep into every market.
Now listen, this is the NYSE president. Okay? This is major news. Why is this not all over the place? They announced Monday. That's last Monday. This is in Davos, World Economic Forum, Switzerland, that they have already created the infrastructure. They're ready to go. All right? What do you think they're using to tokenize with? Notice the only crypto company that I know of for a fact that was there this year was who? The company that has their own crypto, huh? Ripple. Our next crypto company, which is really a crypto exchange, was the CEO Brian Armstrong and Coinbase. They're not playing. This is huge news. Tokenized platforms bring 24/7 trading, instant settlements. You heard it out her mouth first. You know what? All real time for you. Lynn Martin is the president of the New York Stock Exchange and member of the International Exchange leadership team, position she has held since January 2022. As the 68th president, she oversees the world's, not the smallest, not the medium size, but the world's largest stock exchange, focusing on technology, capital markets, and the 2026 IPO landscape. Y'all don't know how big this is? They talking about tokenization. With who? With what? We know it's not Ethereum. Get that out your head. It's not Ethereum. I'm going to tell you now. You better off saying XDC, HBAR, anything else. Don't tell me Ethereum. And it's for damn sure not Bitcoin. They talk about instant settlements. That's XRP. XRP is already doing tokenized gold and silver. You think they only just came with this 2026? You see, she's been around since January 2022 as the president. Y'all gotta be ahead of the times. Else they will roll all over you. And this lady, if I'm not mistaken, she dealt with some type of computer science. If I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, let's check out the rest of her. Key details about Lynn Martin. Role. She serves as president of NYSE Group, a subsidiary of ICE, and is also chair of fixed income and data services at ICE. Remember, not the ICE y'all thinking about, the law enforcement that's running in the streets. This is the Intercontinental Exchange. Background. Martin has a background in computer science and began her career at IBM. I'm done. What more is there to say? Previous experiences. Before becoming president, she held several leadership roles within ICE, including CEO of the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, Life, LIFFE, US, and CEO of ICE Clear US. Education. She held a BS in computer science from Manhattan College and an MA in statistics from Columbia University. So y'all think this woman is somebody to play with, right? Okay. All right. What the hell do I know? Let's just move on. If y'all don't know how big that is, especially with all what's going on, silver price rose above 100. This video is basically just showing, Reuters is showing how they do, whatever. The stuff rose to the price. Let's move on. Well, y'all know Flare. They're dealing with bridging, staking, trading, borrowing, and earning. We all know about the Flare crypto. All right, this one has been going over a lot of people's head. People don't know XRP has upgraded. All right, this is the new release of the XRPL validator dashboard, version 3.0.5. The update teased yesterday is now live. Version 3.0.5 brings UNL health monitoring, track SSL, cert, X3 for XRPLF, and Ripple UNL publishers. Monitor your cached UNL expiration, new alert cert expiring, plus UNL inactive, clear UI. Now, a bunch of computer googly gawk y'all don't understand. Quite frankly, I don't understand all of it. But this is the one where they're trying to have trade and lending. Okay, go on. And you see, this is not live, but this is a recording of it. The system is upgraded. How many of y'all knew that we have a new XRP system upgrade? Huh? Y'all ain't know. Moving on. Y'all good out there? Y'all ain't typing? I see up in here. I see. Let's start because we live. Eric Davis, I see you. Salute to you, Patrick Dix. Who else is here? Lady Lisa 888, salute to you. Botanica Brother, salute to you. And True Stoner, salute to you. Let's continue. I gotta give y'all this work. This news. Japan to recognize as regulated finance asset, right? Oh, excuse me. Japan to recognize XRP as a regulated financial asset. Japan is set to classify XRP as a regulated financial product under the Financial Instrument and Exchange Act, which is known as the FIEA, targeting the second quarter of 2026 implementation. This shift XRP from crypto asset to full investment. Concurrently, the nation is leveraging the XRP ledger as the foundation of its emerging tokenized economy. I'm going to highlight that for you. Actually, yeah, let's highlight it. Emerging tokenized economy. Do y'all get that? Do y'all understand what I just broke down for y'all? If you don't, well, shame on you. Moving on. And then some people complain that XRP right now is $1.87. Good. Hurry up and buy. Every time I gotta hear some goofy ass asking me, but when? When, Brother Joel? When, Brother Benjamin? When? When is it gonna go? I need money now. When? Sounds stupid. Are you stupid or are you stupid? This is real deal. You should be buying at this time. Okay? Larry Fink of BlackRock now says countries that avoid mass immigration will be better positioned for the future. Check what he says. Y'all gotta hear this.
We always use.
Mind you, he didn't now come up with this. They always knew this. That's why Trump is doing what he's doing.
We always used to think shrinking population is a cause for negative growth. But in my conversations with the leadership of these large developed countries that have xenophobic immigration policies, they don't allow anybody to come in, shrinking unemployment, shrinking demographics, these countries will rapidly develop robotics and AI and technology. And if the promise, I didn't say it's going to happen, but if the promise of all that transforms productivity, which most of us think it will, we'll be able to elevate the standard of living of countries, the standard of living of individuals, even with shrinking populations. And so the paradigm of negative population growth is going to be changing. And the social problems that one will have in substituting humans for machines is going to be far easier in those countries that have declining populations.
When the devil speaks truth, you listen. Now, I reposted this from Elon Musk. You see, he put accurate. And Elon Musk was there at the World Economic Forum, and Larry Fink interviewed him this year. Let's move on. Oh, yeah. Y'all would like this. This is from 2008. Let's look at this. This is from 2008. Check this out. On CNBC.
And AOL has hired former Yahoo executive Brad Garlinghouse to run the company's email group and beef up its presence.
September 8th, 2009. Listen again.
And AOL has hired former Yahoo executive Brad Garlinghouse to run the company's email group and beef up its presence in Silicon Valley. Garlinghouse might be best known for calling attention to major problems at Yahoo in a 2006 internal memo. That paper was referred to as the Peanut Butter Manifesto because it claimed the company had spread itself too thin. Since then, Yahoo has changed CEOs twice. Since leaving Yahoo last year, Garlinghouse has been an advisor at private equity firm Silver Lake Partners. And coming up, is it time to ditch the dollar? The United Nations calls for a new global currency. So could this herald the biggest overhaul of the world's monetary system since World War II? And AOL has...
How they talking about Brad Garlinghouse leaving Yahoo, going to AOL, and then right after that, they let you know, hey, the segment that's coming up next, right, is we're dealing with the world monetary system and ditching the dollar. Y'all believe that's all coincidence? This happened. You cannot make this up. This was on CNBC in 2009. Right after they're going to play that segment. Yeah, okay. I got something else for y'all to hear too. So all y'all that think crypto ain't going nowhere, listen, this is how the Bank of England is moving, and they're looking to move very fast now because they see that they're lagging behind. Listen to this.
I mean, take the whole world of cryptocurrencies and crypto trading, and we are just lagging so far behind many other parts of the world. And yet the FCA don't want to know, frankly, the Bank of England don't want to know. I mean, there was even a proposal from Bailey just recently to restrict the number of stable coins any individual can hold. So you see, I'm talking about having people, the governor of the Bank of England, I'm not questioning the independence of it. What I am saying is that we need a new, more innovative approach to all of this.
Okay.
If we don't do things differently, we're going to get poorer and
But
poorer.
people want to know
I mean, take the whole
Y'all
world.
heard it
Take the
yourself.
whole world.
Nigel said it. Okay? Leader. Reform UK. Member of Parliament. United Kingdom. You heard it directly out his mouth. If the dude from Parliament of the United Kingdom is telling you, basically translation, your ass is ahead of them. They are lagging behind when it comes to crypto. Huh? Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. Straight out the horse's mouth. But what the hell do I know? Moving on. This video I find very funny. Listen to this. Listen to this. Yeah, this is a good one.
Forward into how you're going to interact with this market in 2026.
I kind of changed I had to change my thesis for obvious reasons because the cycle has changed. And for me, I'm just sticking with Bitcoin and a few big caps. That's it. Like ETH, Sol, mostly those two, and then a little bit of like XRP or something like the big caps, mid caps and small cap.
Add forward into how you're going to
and a little bit of XRP, man, something reluctant, so reluctant to say XRP, but he had to change his whole position. This market cycle is not the same, people. I've been telling you that. He was reluctant to say XRP. When y'all get a chance, Watch this video. They basically has showed
Okay, so
you
look, Western Union isn't going to go out of business anytime soon. They're going to
Ripple and XRP.
Okay.
Excuse me,
This
Ripple
is where the big money
XRP.
is. It's not in remittances.
Sorry, Ripple XRP and Stellar XLM. As you can see in this presentation, pretty much on the world stage, is dealing with cross-border payments. When y'all get a chance, it's on Joel Benjamin 528. Y'all can watch that. Vietnam gold price rise as SJC bar surge 80 to 87 per ounce to 6,530 to 6,610, far above global spot price. Are y'all seeing this? And let me be clear. I'm going to say something that's real controversial. The price of gold and silver rising like this is not a good thing. We are in economic danger. I need y'all to understand that. Don't get it twisted. Y'all seeing it like, oh yeah, gold and silver is rising. There's a video I'm going to play for y'all. And the way he break that down and explain that is pretty good. I like this dude right here. He give a breakdown. Let me play. We already played
currencies and capital rules.
Now listen to this. This is the next one with Brad Garlinghouse, right? From back then. Just pay attention to this. Let me just play the whole video. It's 4 minutes.
What I'm about to show you may be a true crack in the matrix, a rare glimpse into the predictive programming machine behind the long-term crypto plan that's finally coming to fruition today. We'll start with the clip that ended the last video. That September 8, 2009 clip where CNBC announces the UN's new world currency system for the first time, while Joe Kernan and the entire crew essentially mock it, telling everyone not to worry about the UN. Or in other words, not to pay attention to that man behind the curtain.
The UN Conference on Trade and Development argues the current system of currencies and capital rules is not working properly. So the group suggests an artificial currency be created to replace the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. The report essentially calls for a new Bretton Woods style system of managed international exchange rates. Can you believe we're actually talking about this kind of stuff?
I can believe we're talking about it because remember when we were talking about the Amero for a while,
Yeah,
and a lot of
the
other
Amero,
things that didn't seem like they were really going to happen.
It's the UN.
The UN?
It's the UN. Don't worry.
That clip is so significant to me because it shows me what looks like a cover-up strategy in retrospect. I can't prove it or anything, but that's what it feels like. This unusual effort by CNBC to announce the plan for a new global currency while simultaneously downplaying it will stick with me forever, and it's why I included a moment from it in my banner collage. But anyway, believe it or not, there's even more that happened that fateful day, September 8th, 2009, especially as it relates to this long-term plan. Did you see what was scrolling at the bottom of the screen while CNBC mocked the UN calling for a new world reserve currency? AOL hires ex-Yahoo exec who wrote Peanut Butter Manifesto. You guys, do you know who wrote the Peanut Butter Manifesto? Brad Garlinghouse. And quick shout out to Carol for noticing this in the last video. Brad Garlinghouse, without being directly named, subliminally scrolls by the screen in the exact moment Joe Kernan says not to worry about the UN calling for a new currency system. How insane is that? Fast forward into the future, and Brad goes on to lead Ripple, the premier company that would bring this global currency system they announce in this clip to fruition. Brad Garlinghouse is named President of Internet and Mobile Communications at AOL the exact same day the UN calls for replacing the dollar with an artificial global currency. I mean, are you kidding me? And it's weird enough these two things happened on the same day, but to package them in the exact same news clip like this just feels like something deeper's going on. It wasn't the only time it happened that day either. Here's a clip from earlier that day, and somehow it's even crazier. Remember, this is totally unedited.
And AOL has hired former Yahoo executive Brad Garlinghouse to run the company's email group and beef up its presence in Silicon Valley. Garlinghouse might be best known for calling attention to major problems at Yahoo in a 2006 internal memo. That paper was referred to as the Peanut Butter Manifesto because it claimed the company had spread itself too thin. Since then, Yahoo has changed CEOs twice. Since leaving Yahoo last year, Garlinghouse has been an advisor at private equity firm Silver Lake Partners. And coming up, is it time to ditch the dollar? The United Nations calls for a new global currency. So could this herald the biggest overhaul? Has been an advisor at private equity firm Silver Lake Partners. And
Silver Lake Partners. We are Silver Lake. We partner and align with exceptional management team to invest and build and grow great companies. Yep, that's where he's from. Silver Lake closes $20.5 billion fundraiser for SLP 7. May 8th, 2024. Y'all never heard of Silver Lake before. See, I pulled it up so you'll know. Brad Garlinghouse is also part of Silver Lake. They know how to build and make companies better. They're a private equity firm. You see, look, Silver Lake Technology Management, LLC, is an American global private equity firm focused on technology and technology-enabled investment. I tell you, sometimes I get tired of connecting the dots for y'all, but
coming up, is it time to ditch the dollar? The United Nations calls for a new global currency. So could this herald the biggest overhaul of the world's monetary system since World War II?
I mean, what's up with that, you guys? I honestly don't even know what to say. Tonight on CNBC, introducing Brad Garlinghouse. And by the way, could the UN's plan to replace the dollar as the world currency result in the biggest overhaul of the world's monetary system since World War II? And that was 16 years ago. Do you realize the odds? How many news stories and announcements happen every day? The fact that these two stories came in the exact same moment to be presented together is one of the most incredible things the media matrix has ever shown me.
listen, I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger. And y'all still not getting XRP? Y'all bugging. Y'all bugging. Let's keep it pushing. We got more info to give y'all. Okay. Silver and gold. Nah. When y'all get a chance, y'all could watch that video. Look at this. Just so you know, when y'all get chance, a process of them, fine silver bars being made. It's interesting how these bars are being made. When y'all get chance, y'all could go watch the video. It's on Joel Benjamin 528 on Twitter. Now, this video, I might end the stream with this. Listen to this video. Now, first, as he's talking, you're like, yo, bro, where you getting at? This sounds stupid. But if anybody knows about money and deal with money, we know the actual real money is gold and silver. That's number one. We know the fiat currency is these bills and these coins they're putting out to us. Okay? We know the dead / resurrected new currency is crypto. People say, oh, it means cryptic. No, it could mean crypt dead. I already went into all that already. Watch this. Gold equal cows. Cows equal gold. Listen.
So what does these cows and the price of gold have in common? I did a video day before yesterday about the price of gold going up and the price of cows going up. And I saw another guy who did a video on YouTube, and I was shocked at what I found out. You see this gold coin? It's an old Roman coin. And guess what's on the back of it? A cow. And you know why a cow's on there? Because back during those times, one gold coin would buy a cow. And in 1921, an American gold coin, which cost $20, guess what? It would buy a cow because a cow sold for $20 back in 1921. And did you know that the Latin word for money is actually derived from the word that actually means cattle or livestock? Isn't that crazy? So gold and cattle go hand in hand. And my point is today is that gold is around what, $4,900, almost $5,000. And guess what one of those cows will cost you if you had to go to the sale and buy it? You're exactly right. $4,000, almost $5,000 for a head of cattle now. And this is my whole point. The gold keeps going up to $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, and everybody's so excited. How much do you think the meat? How much do you think everything else is going to cost you at the grocery store? Folks, we better wise up. We better be preparing for what's going on, because I think things are going to get real bad. You wouldn't mind to help me out, get more followers. I'm just getting started on this channel. But if you like this kind of content, leave me a comment, like it, share this video. And
there you have it, people. I know a lot of y'all didn't know that. I'm not going to ask how many of y'all knew that. I'm not going to even waste my time. The price, whatever the price is gold now, is what it costs for a cattle. Remember when they was going around and it had the massive cattle death? And they said some disease happened with the cows, and because one, you got to kill all. Listen, this stuff goes deeper than you think it is. They've been tying this whole thing with the gold system. The proof is in the pudding. Y'all don't have to like it. Y'all don't have to believe it, but the facts is the facts. It's a reason why it's there. Listen to this.
Why is the U.S. exporting so much gold?
Listen to this carefully.
I think we are starting to move toward, basically we're sending it when, let me back up.
Do that.
The data show that we sent most of it to Switzerland. The Swiss are very precise with their records, which shows that most of that went to two places. China
and the UK, right? Because London doesn't have enough gold, I'm assuming.
Well, and I didn't get into it before about red teaming China, but look, if I wanted to, another thing I would do with red teaming China is I would call up the Achilles heel of the dollar system, which is the London gold and silver markets. And I would say, give me more. I would empty it out till either the price skyrockets or until they declare force majeure. And now pricing is set in Asia. So it's interesting to me that one debtor country is sending U.S. is sending a whole bunch of a whole bunch of gold to another trade debtor country, the UK, at a time when gold flows have been clearly leaving the UK and over the last couple of years, and broadly speaking, going east, with the exception of earlier this year when they came here. So that was interesting. But the China side, gold is trade settlement. At the end of the day, look, I think people need to open their minds to the possibility that one of these trade deals is that the Chinese said, okay, we will restart rare earths. Not for dollars anymore. No more dollars. We'll take gold. We'll take silver. We'll take value for value, but you don't make anything else of value. We can't use your software. Your chips, you're restricting like crazy. We don't want any of that stuff. We've actually said we've reduced our chips. We're coming up with our own aircraft. So we do need some Boeing parts still for the time being, but in another 5 years or 3 years or 8 years, I don't know what it is, but China's going to make their own aircraft and throw Boeing out like they've done to everybody else, so that we can't weaponize that against them. So yeah, when we once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth, right? Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Why are we sending gold to China in the middle of a trade war when we've been restricting this and that? Well, it flies in the face of sort of China's collapsing, because you go back thousands of years. The countries that are buying gold are not the ones collapsing. It's the countries selling gold that are the ones that are having the fiscal problems. So look, I think that's probably, if you gun to my head, why did we send a bunch of gold to China? That's probably why. It is in the same way that in 1940, we did this to our friends in 1940, to the Brits. They were the reserve currency. They've been the reserve currency for 150, 200 years. Hey, we need equipment, America. Can you lend us something? We'll pay you. Sure, but we're not taking sterling. We'll take dollars, or we'll take gold. We don't trust the sterling. We don't want the sterling. You may lose. And so it's kind of the same setup, right? It's not a shooting war, but we've made it clear that we are trying to choke China out in a lot of different ways. The Chinese would have to be stupid to take printed dollars, back to that, your point about that Fed balance sheet, for some of these rare earths that we want to shape into weapons and point at them. So, okay, you're going to have to pay value for value. So I suspect some version of that is what happened. I have no proof of that. It's purely speculative, just to be clear. But like I said, you eliminate the impossible, whatever you have left is probably the truth.
And he's completely right. The ones that are buying the gold is not the ones who are broke. It's the one who are selling their gold. But you see, America don't want to sell the gold to them to sell it to them directly. They want to do indirectly by way of the Swiss. Listen to this part again. Is it around here?
So that was interesting. But the China side, gold is trade settlement. At the end of the day, the thing I would do with red teaming China is I would call up the Achilles heel of the dollar system, which is the London gold and silver markets. And I would say, give me more. I would empty it out till either the price skyrockets or until they declare force majeure. And now pricing is set in Asia. So it's interesting to me that one debtor country is sending U.S. is sending a whole bunch of gold to another trade debtor country, the UK, at a time when gold flows have been clearly leaving the UK and over the last couple of years, and broadly speaking, going east, with the exception of earlier this year when they came here. So that was interesting. But the China side, gold is trade settlement. At the end of the
if we're supposed to be beefing with China, why, and we're supposed to be locking everything down, why are we still selling gold to them on the low? I hope we don't all need to be speaking Chinese soon. And China is big on XRP, right? Yeah, I do know China is big on XRP, right? Ray Dalio, I like to hear Ray Dalio speak.
In your mind, is this the beginning of
Listen,
the end?
he speak the truth. Listen.
In your mind, is this the beginning of the end for the prescience of the U.S. dollar?
It's the beginning of the end of the monetary system as we know it. It's not just the US dollar, it's the fiat monetary currencies. So the UK, the euro, Japan, China all have similar debt problems and so on, and are dealing with the same interrelationships, which is the reason you're seeing gold being chosen by the central banks. They want a currency. Gold has always been the main currency, and it's the only non-fiat currency. In other words, not the currency that can't be printed, that they want. And so that's why you're seeing central banks move and sovereign wealth funds move to gold. And that's the nature of the shift of the monetary system.
Let me tell you something. They're trying to get rid of the feds.
The beginning of
Oh,
the
wait,
end
hold
for
on.
the prescience of the U.S.
They're trying to get rid of the feds and the banks. They're trying to get rid of the Federal Reserve and all the other banks. So let's go into the Bank of Montreal. Confirms what I've been saying for 2 years. This is pretty good. Check it.
Bank of Montreal did something. It's like, okay, this is amazing. They warned that the silver gold ratio is going to approach a historic bottom. Okay, this is what we've been talking about. What's the historic bottom? It's like 20-1 historically, but modern day, this was in 2010, it got to 30-1, meaning it takes 30 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. Where is it today? Around 50. Where was it around Christmas time? Close to 80. That ratio is shrinking. So as it approaches, according to Bank of Montreal, and what I've been saying for 2 years, we are going to approach this bottom. It means silver is going to dramatically outperform gold, which, as we see already year to date, it's up 32%, gold's up 8%. It is growing by a factor of 4 times faster than gold.
You heard that? The Bank of Montreal been called it. They been called it in Canada. Don't listen to TD Bank because they got a huge short on it and they're losing money. They better reverse like how JP Morgan Chase did. But what the hell do I know? Let's move on. Again, y'all want to get at cost metals. That's the place where you'll be able to buy and sell your gold. You know Costco is limiting the amount of silver bars you can get now. Did y'all know that? To only one bar. At cost metals don't limit you. Here's the link. Y'all got no excuse. And sign up for the coin of the month. If you don't want to, that's all right. But sign up to At Cost Metals so if you could be part of the club where you could get gold and silver the cheapest. The real thing, straight out the mint. Okay? True Stoner says Costco is like the club. You need to scan in just like listen. That is so true. Anybody been to Costco lately? You gotta scan in now as you enter in the door. Okay? Real talk. I got money for sale. Said I just followed you on X. Good. Thank you very much. Lisa 888 Lady Lisa 888 says it's a hard language. What's that? It just sounds like the US is screwed. You damn right. You're damn right. It's done off. True Stoner says if Warren Buffett pulled $6 billion from the stock market. Should that be a red flag? Exactly. But we're gonna get into Warren Buffett. Listen. I'm cooking tonight. Real talk. Lisa 888 asks, will things go up and just get bad in the US? Yes. Yes, it will. Remember, I've been telling y'all this. Me and Brother Divine came up on here on Joel Benjamin 528 on YouTube. Been telling you it on Facebook, Joel Benjamin 528. That's when I was on there. On Instagram, when I was on there. Been telling y'all, been showing you this constantly more and more and more. People didn't take heed. I was telling y'all to buy the gold and silver since one gold. I was telling you to get the jewelry. Get anything that you can that's gold and silver before the prices go up. No one thought this was going to come. It's here. Botanica Brother says, US is just okay. Trust that. No, I am not going to trust in that because I know the truth. If it's okay, everything that I've been saying since I had this YouTube channel since 2006, and I really started ramping up and screaming at the top of my lungs since 2010. I ramped it up even more since 2018. And from 2020, forget it. I've been going supernova on y'all asses because everything that I've been saying been coming through. Okay? This is real talk. You know what? I like what True Stoner says. Just okay can turn KO real quick. Do you not, Botanica Brother? Did you not hear me just tell you the US is being slick and the UK is being slick on how they're selling their gold on the low? US is doing bad. The US have them little ass band-aids right now on a severed artery. They're putting a band-aid on decapitated limb. Erica Tolbert says, I am new. Should I buy silver now? Yes, 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 and yes. This is the link. You want to sign up to At Cost Metals. You're getting it the cheapest. I've been told you. That's why I don't deal with one gold no more. I told y'all, and for them, even if you want them to hold a gold or silver for you or any of the precious metals, their fee to me is a bit high. You know, by far, At Cost Metals is way cheaper, and you become a member. Any of your scrap gold or silver, any of your chains, rings, whatever it is, some of y'all got silverware, anything it is, you are able to sell it through them. A lot of y'all bought gold and silver through AntMex. And AntMex said, stick them up to your pockets when you go to sell over there. Okay? Real talk. This is the real deal. Yes, 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 True Stoner. AntMex is trash, garbage, rubbish. You're welcome, Erica Tolbert. You're welcome. Lady Lisa 888 says, may not be able to afford the metals, might have a have to stick with XRP. See, this is the thing. As XRP goes up, you could buy some of the metals, or you put a little to the side. That's why I told y'all about at-cost metals, because you could get it the cheapest. Not only that, with at-cost metals, you could buy, I think, up to $20 worth on the side or something like that. And that's why I had put y'all on with the that Roth IRA. But with that, just to start, you got to come up off of, I think, 1,000 now. So no, you stick with the at-cost metals. All right. Always watch Warren's way. Yes, Dream Smith. Always. True Stone says, my Amex Silver is turning and I never took it out the bag. Oh dear. That's not good. Because remember, Amex and others done got caught out there before, where some fraudulent silver and gold done got into their supply. Let's not forget that. Botanica brother says, we here are not aware of all that's really going on in this financial sphere of the world. That's why I'm doing this live stream and showing you. Dream Smith says, all facts. Let me see. Let me get back to this. Now listen to what Trax NYC says, because people don't understand why silver is going up. It's multiple reasons. But remember, I told you silver is used in different equipments and you need it for energy and everything. Listen to what he says.
Everyone wants to know why silver's going up. Well, I'll explain it to you for the trillionth time, okay? The world's money works around two things: energy and metals, okay? Energy has its day, metals have their day. You need energy to melt metals to make technology. In the Bronze Age, in the Iron Age, and maybe in the Silver Age or the Gold Age or whatever is to come. You need the metals, okay? And the paper game is coming to an end. Real companies need metals to make all of this AI, all of this space technology, all of these batteries, and they're realizing that everyone's been lying about what they have and what it's worth. It's all a scam. There's nobody you can trust, not the government, not nothing. They're all willing to betray you.
That's a fact. Have anybody that's been watching me for the longest, have I not been telling y'all this for the longest when nobody else was telling you? I told y'all 2-3 years ago, buy the silver now. When the silver was $20-something, $16. I've been telling y'all to get this since I was pushing the one gold site. Okay? I've been telling y'all to buy, and I've been told y'all AI is coming. No, excuse me, correction. I've been telling y'all AI is here. And now they have a more advanced version called OI, the organoid intelligence. And I've been telling y'all time and time again, the price is going to go sky high because they need it for energy and to make the high level technology even for war. Why you think when it comes to war, they've been chilling out? They really don't be wanting to smoke like that because they're going to be using up all the silver. Mind you, they're using it for space. We're not even talking about the stuff that they're seeing flying into an outer space coming this way. I'm not even going to go there. It's a reason why Donald Trump started the Space Force, the latest and last branch of the military. They need the silver. Why you think he went up into Venezuela? You thought that was all about just oil? You're either stupid or you stupid. You know how much unrefined silver? Do you know how much unrefined silver? I'll say it again. Do you know how much unrefined silver is in Venezuela? They already made the deal and they're already digging. Let me calm down. Y'all getting this work tonight. Y'all getting this work tonight. Listen this.
Is there any, I think, coincidence maybe that the government classified silver a critical mineral and they just passed a law saying the government will put price floors underneath critical minerals?
Silver is now considered a critical mineral by the United States government. And they're making sure they put a price floor underneath the critical minerals. They jump-started this since January. It's already past January 2026. And I know y'all don't know about this because y'all not paying attention. And you think America is fine? Yeah.
Is there any, I think, coincidence maybe that the government classified silver a critical mineral and they just passed a law saying the government will put price floors underneath critical minerals within the next 90 days? I think that there is this fine line between, could it be Samsung, Sony, could it be the government not telling us if it's done under the Exchange Stabilization Fund? They don't need to get congressional approval. They don't need to tell Congress up front because it's for national security. Well, silver has now been made a priority for national security. And so I guess all I'm trying to say is that it's incredibly unusual, and the people at that level who are bringing in that kind of money, who have been following what the central banks have been doing, in my mind, that's all you need to see. And you can see that this, is there any, I think, coincidence?
Okay. The White House currently considered a strategic silver reserve. U.S. lawmakers introduced bill to create 2.5 billion strategic stockpile. Y'all don't get it. We've been telling y'all this for the longest. Okay? We've been telling y'all this for the longest.
Does it concern you that China, the world's largest producer and consumer of gold, may not be fully transparent about how much gold they actually hold? And if that's the case, could Beijing one day leverage that gold for settlement through stable coins or other digital instruments?
Oh, definitely. I think you can assume they're not transparent about gold holdings. The Soviet Union never was. It was a state secret. And I think China would aspire to do that. They certainly, through the Shanghai platform, set up a way to start combining the yuan with gold futures. And Kwasi Kwarteng, he was the chancellor of the Exchequer during the Liz Truss, when she was prime minister briefly of the UK. He had written an opinion piece for the New York Times some years earlier saying that it's a shame, but it could very likely be China to propose new international monetary arrangements based on some kind of gold anchor. And it seems to me that China has been quietly accumulating gold. We don't know exactly how much, but I think that there are reasons to think they are setting themselves up to do it. That's why I think it's important we move ahead rather rapidly and powerfully in doing it. We still have the world's largest gold reserves, but let's use that to our advantage and not just come up secondarily after China's already garnered the attention and maybe gotten a foothold with certain countries by proposing such an approach. Yeah, I think we need to get moving.
First off, China is using the art of war. If you haven't read the Art of War book, read it. If you can't get the book and read it, you don't want to spend the money, listen to the audio book. When you are close, make your enemies think you are far. When you are far, make your enemies think you are close. When you are few in people, make them think you're many in people. And when you are many in people, make them think you are few in people. Why? Because deception, they will always be thrown off because they're thinking one thing when it's really the other. It's a reason why China do not want to announce how much gold they're really collecting. Okay? We got Japan having private meetings with India. Now, Japan is supposed to be big time down with us. We got America secretly selling China gold because they need money. And yet we're talking about we got the biggest stockpile reserve. Are you sure about that? Are you sure? Okay, are you sure? They're trying to set up the BRICS nations, people. Here we go. Breaking. Costco is now limiting silver 1-ounce bars to 1 per customer. When retail giants start rationing silver, that's not normal market behavior. He's right. He's right. So all this money being printed, they turning on the printing press. Yeah, the system is failing. The system is failing. Where we at? This is stuff that I'm gonna put for the next live. Okay, let's go with who really owns BlackRock. This is important.
So I found out who actually owns BlackRock, but there's something really weird about it. Because by now we know that BlackRock is in the top 3 shareholders of basically every corporation in America and beyond. And they do this using our money in things like retirement accounts, pension funds, IRAs, exchange traded funds, mutual funds. But most people don't actually know who owns and controls BlackRock. We all know that it was founded by Larry Fink, and he's the face of the company, but he does not control it. When you try to find out who does control it, you'll usually find this list, which is the top institutional shareholders. Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street are right at the top, just like every other company. But this is not the whole story. Because if you dig deep enough, you'll find out that actually Merrill Lynch owns 45% of BlackRock. And they're considered an insider, so they don't show up on the top institutional holders list. This merger took place in 2006. So actually Merrill Lynch controls BlackRock in a big way. But who controls Merrill Lynch? Well, Merrill Lynch is actually a division of Bank of America because Bank of America bought them out during the 2008 financial collapse. So who owns Bank of America? Well, nowadays, Warren Buffett is the top shareholder of Bank of America because he owns Berkshire Hathaway, which is his billionaire investment firm. I'm still not sure.
Now let's stop right there. Do y'all remember about, was it 3 or 4 years ago? Anybody who's watching me live, do you remember when I told you Warren Buffett owns BlackRock? Do y'all remember that? And I told you the reason why he owns BlackRock is because Berkshire Hathaway owns the majority of shares of Bank of America, which owns the majority or owns, period, Merrill Lynch. That's why I tell y'all, go get and open up a Bank of America account so you can automatically have a Merrill Lynch account so you don't have to pay that, what, $2,000 or whatever to join. You end up joining free. When you open a Bank of America account, you get a Merrill Lynch account. which owns Bank of America, but it doesn't show up on the list. You have to know how to dig to find it. Do y'all remember me telling y'all that? Ebony Eyes, I remember you saying it. Thank you. Again, I'm going to put this up here for y'all. Any of y'all who ain't signed up to At Course Metals at this point, shame on you. I've been telling y'all this. It is not too late to get yourself some gold and silver, especially silver. It's going to go crazy, people. I'm going to play this rest of the video. I'm going to play this rest. I put the link up there. I'm going to play the rest of the video. We taking our time tonight. I'm not rushing through nothing. I'm already over the hour mark, and I'm about to hit the hour and a half mark. It's so much information. I need to give this to y'all. And a lot of y'all, sometimes y'all don't watch the whole live stream and y'all call me. And I'm not going to answer y'all calls when you call about this because it's in the live stream. And I let y'all know, I give y'all the knowledge that most people are not giving you.
Top one is the 25%. That's an anomaly, and I cannot corroborate what those shares are, but I found these shares. This is a screenshot from Berkshire Hathaway's 13F where they tell you all the things they hold. And I totaled up all of these Bank of America shares, and it equals 1,032,000,000 shares. That's 13% of Bank of America shares, equal to $33 billion. But I also dug in a little bit into where Bank of America came from and who founded them. And all modern banks are crazy histories of mergers and acquisitions and banks changing their names and merging with other banks, probably for no particular reason. But Bank of America traces its roots back in two different directions, one of which we're not going to talk about, and the other one is back to this Italian dude named Amedeo Giannini, who acquired what was then called Banca di America d'Italia. Sorry for that accent. Over the years, it changed its name to Bank America, and then in the biggest merger in history, merged with Charlotte-based Nation Bank in 1998. So I just thought it was interesting that half of the lineage of Bank of America was founded by this Italian dude that got really into Italian banking back in the early 1900s, you know, when like there was a certain Italian organization that was doing a lot of things with money back then. I'm sure it was all above board though, obviously. But anyways, back to the weird thing that I can't figure out. Bank of America owns Merrill Lynch, who owns the vast majority of BlackRock. But they don't have anyone on the board as far as I can tell. Usually the biggest shareholders of a company have representatives on the board that sort of represent their investment. But I've just shown you the whole board of directors of BlackRock, and none of them have any real ties to Merrill Lynch or Bank of America, which seems pretty weird when you own almost half the company to not have any board members. The plot thickens. So two things. If you want to follow the history of Bank of America down the other trail, you might wind up at a certain family name that you aren't aware of that is really hard to find on the internet. That'll probably get videos taken down. Total conspiracy theories. And the other thing is, if anyone knows more than me or is...
Nah, listen to this. I know for a fact I know what he's talking about because when I spoke about it, my videos got taken down. Y'all remember that. Y'all remember that. But I'm almost done cooking. Y'all probably full. Y'all probably don't want me to go on no more. But this is why the tokenization is here, people. Saudi Arabia investing 100 billion of its oil and minerals wealth into silver as it surpassed 100 per ounce for the first time. Can't make this up. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. Japan will crash the US dollar in 3 days. Remember this chart I showed y'all before? Who's the major holder of US debt? Japan. The second major holder is the United Kingdom. Who is the third major holder of U.S. debt? China. Believe it or not, 4 is the Cayman Islands. 5 is Canada. 6 is Luxembourg. And Belgium is number 7. We are now here in 2006. Year of good times, high prices, and the time to sell stocks and value of all kinds. Look, y'all remember me showing y'all this list? I know y'all do. And this list has been very accurate for many and many of years. And it'll keep on being accurate because they're going by a system and it's a failing system. All you got to do is time it. Now, I'm not going to lie. One of the interesting things that got thrown in there, no pun intended, the Trump card, is Trump, which is shocking. And they don't like it. We're being propped up. This is some of y'all right now with y'all gold and silver. Remember when Christmas time comes, we'll get the chocolate that will be wrapped up in the gold and silver foiling, looking like coins. The central bank's current financial situation. And this is a fact. This ain't only central bank. This is some of y'all right now that's holding some of them metals. Shalaya says $108.30 per ounce as of now, from $3 earlier. So excuse me, from $103 earlier today. True Stoners says exactly like the jewels stolen from Africa and placed inside Queen of England crown. Yes, facts. Got money for sale. You're laughing. Hey, I had to post this up. So y'all could see. You too, Dream Smith. I had to post it up. This is what's going on right now. But nobody wants to hear me. So, hey, whatever. Now, just so y'all know, heads up, BlackRock is dumping. They're doing the same thing Warren Buffett been doing, but only they've been doing this with Bitcoin and Ethereum. BlackRock is dumping hundreds of millions worth of BTC and ETH. What's going on? Y'all know what's going on. You know one thing you're not hearing them dumping a whole bunch of, though? XRP. Once again, what the hell do I know? Look. And just so y'all don't call me a lie, the chart is right here. The chart is right here. All right, now. People who bought silver at $30 last year. Yeah. This is pretty much me. Forget last year. What about the years up when I was telling y'all to get it at $16 to $20? Y'all could thank me. Yes. You're welcome. Yeah. That's right. What's that? Oh. Yeah. All the cheers. Congratulations to all those people that have bought all that silver, from 1 gold to At Course Metals. Congratulations to you. Look at the link for At Course Metals. If you haven't signed up yet, y'all could say I'm shilling this all y'all want. Had y'all listened to me then, y'all would have been good to go. There's the link for it. All right. Moving on. And the fact is, most of the people running around with gold and silver in their sneakers and not in their portfolio. Facts. They're too busy buying the sneakers, the clothes. You're going on trips. You know what? I don't want to go off on a tangent because I know I can. Something changed in silver. JP Morgan reportedly dumped its historic paper short. Remember, you got the physical silver, you got the paper silver. Use the cash to hoard physical silver, building one of the largest stockpile on record. At the same time, U.S. Mint reports silver coin shortage. They finally reported that there's a shortage. Who've been telling you since 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago that there's been a silver shortage? Showed you the articles that they said by the time it's reached this time, it's already a silver shortage. They was telling you this 10 years ago. And they said they could only keep it up but so long. They're trying to stop and control this. Now, when y'all get a chance, watch this video. For y'all that be wanting gold jewelry and even silver jewelry, watch this video because everybody think it's easy to make. You see, the person says, now I understand why gold chains is so expensive. I don't got time to show you all this. When you get time, you watch that video. It's a very good video for you to watch. Me and my bro waiting for crypto super cycle to become millionaires. I need y'all to understand, until that Clarity Act get passed, that's when we're going to be lit. I said it before, I'm saying it again. It's just the truth. Now, for all y'all that be wanting to sell your crypto, I mean, make sure I mute that sound because anyway, BlackRock, when you sell your XRP, all y'all that's running to go sell your XRP, that's how they feel. You could remember, I already showed you when you sell your XRP, they're buying it up. You don't think that it's strange that BlackRock haven't started the XRP spot ETF yet? They are working together with Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse and dealing with the tokenization of stock. Now listen to this.
Never been allowed to find price discovery in a market where the West has controlled the paper price forever, but that's breaking. And it's breaking because of the standing of delivery, whether it be in London or the abnormal, massively abnormal deliveries we're seeing here on COMEX. To be naked short in a market that is backwardation. Like, for example, let me just say one thing here. I want to read to you one thing. I mean, I think anyone that would be short in a market that is backward, that is in backwardation, is as silly and stupid as a mud wall. TD Bank is one of these morons who, came out and they're one of the ones that are short. And they come out and they say to their public, they say, we enter short spot anticipating a dramatic reversal in prices as silver's devilish blow off, framing it negatively because they're wickedly short. Blow off top comes to completion. And it goes on to say, TD Securities entered a short position in silver futures in early January, betting the price would fall towards $40 an ounce. They placed a stop loss around $92 an ounce to limit losses if the price went the other way. What do you think happened last Friday? At a great expense to TD Bank, they got stopped out. If you play short in a market where you used to be able to do that and drive down the price, not only through shorting, but through rhetoric, it would work and it wouldn't come back. Now they knock it down. Great. You got people that are standing for delivery for billions of dollars worth. Say, thank you so much, TD Bank. We'll take all of that and watch what happens to the price. And we're going to stand for delivery too. So you need to come up with that silver, not just a paper, a papered over payment instead of the real thing.
That's right. I need that. I need that. Give me that. I need that physical. Okay? I need that. TD Bank, stupid. Now y'all wonder why the price going up. Mind you, the U.S. is still manipulating the price of silver. I need y'all, I'm going to get into that. I need y'all to understand this. The United States of America is still manipulating the price of silver. And look, put it like this. It's like an ant trying to hold back a tidal wave. Y'all get it? Who owns all the silver is key. Well, the largest owner institutional-wise in the United States of America, I could tell you, is JP Morgan Chase. Dream Smith says, thank you, Brother Joel. You're welcome. I actually get a thank you. Okay, good. Shalayar says, it's the same narrative. We can see where Orange 45 gets his orders from. It is what it is. It is what it is.
It's an existential threat to these banks, and they proved it in a very, very short period of time, showing just what happens when physical demand overtakes paper manipulation. And that's why I've always felt that the only way you can successfully manipulate a market over a period of time, the way the Western central banks did, is to push it in the direction it's going. And they held it down. No one wanted it. But all of a sudden, there are some very sophisticated people and very wealthy people and very well-informed people, whether it be the central banks or whoever the hell is doing it here, whoever has been draining the LBMA, and they're like, okay, fine, we'll play that game, and we don't play on margin, so go ahead and short it and watch what happens. And maybe that's why the Economic Times just came out and said, well, you know what? The 5 banks in the U.S. are actually net long. It's the banks in Europe and the banks in Canada that quite haven't got that memo yet, and this would prove true with TD Bank.
A lot to unpack there, but do you...
Ain't a lot to unpack. It's quite simple. TD Bank has already had 2 margin calls shorting silver. You think they learned their lesson yet, people?
Expect, Andy, a moment where this lack of physical metal is exposed in a way that the market can't paper over. I mean, what is the most dramatic outcome that can happen when we talk about this long-standing manipulation, when we talk about how there's so much more paper silver than physical silver?
Let me say this too, by the way. They've been pulling this off for decades. They've been doing a good job, especially the United States of America. That all ends now. They trying still at this point. They need to give it up. You're shorting gold, you're shorting silver, you're asking for problems.
Is there a point where this actually gets exposed, and what would that look like?
Well, it would look like what it looked like to Bear Stearns. And I've talked about this forever, the interview that Bart Chilton did with both Andrew Maguire and Chris Marcus, and then died shortly thereafter. I'm not saying that there's a correlation there, but he came out and said Bear Stearns failed largely because they held the largest short position in silver. This is the head of the CFTC, the Commodity Future Trading Commission, the commodity police, just like the SEC for securities. And he admitted that largely the reason that Bear Stearns failed was because they bet against silver and the price collapsed.
Remember Bear Stearns? Remember Bear Stearns? Okay.
And they let him fail. There were reasons behind why they let him fail. They were one of the only banks that didn't play ball with the Fed on something else years before, but evidently that was never forgotten. And so when the price rose dramatically, they collapsed. And this is when you get into the Jamie Dimon thing and all of the stuff that Bart Chilton talked about. It's one of the 2 videos that anyone who owns metal should watch. But the admission from the head of the CFTC that this is indeed what happened, to me, is exactly what will happen. And if you get a failure to deliver where the Fed doesn't come in and backstop, doesn't make Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan take that position, doesn't paper it over, you get a bank like for example, UBS, who realizes that the derivatives that they took over for Credit Suisse, same thing. Do you think they wanted to take them, or were they asked politely to take them?
Okay, so they took over that bank. UBS. UBS is a major partner with who? Ripple XRP. Moving on.
That those derivatives that they hold are worse than they thought. And you get a bank like that who has a failure to deliver, and the U.S. Federal Reserve doesn't come to the rescue, like the last time these things happened in 2008, and the United States had to open swap lines for the Swiss National Bank to bail out everybody. If they don't let that happen, and you see a systemic failure by one of these banks, a failure to deliver, well, these banks don't just trade in metals, they trade in everything. And you start to get a run on one of these banks, the systemic contagion reaction is like a house of cards that collapses. Could that happen? Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the mistake that people make, to think that, well, they'll never let that happen. Who's they? And isn't it just possible that when you over leverage a system to the degree that the West has, where you rehypothecate or resell the same piece of metal over and over and over and over again, assuming no one will ever stand for delivery, but everyone does, and you can't get it, what happens? It's the kind of deal whereby they say when you go long, you can only lose what you put up. When you go short, you can lose everything. And it just keeps on going. And I think that is the lesson to be learned, that it could get very, very, very ugly.
And it is getting very, very ugly, and will continue getting very, very ugly. That's why you have to make sure you get the physical. That's why I've been putting up the at-cost metals for y'all for the longest. Watch this. Now, y'all notice this is a silver eagle, right? This is fresh out the mint. Nobody else's hands touch it. This is a numismatic MS70. It's a reason why I tell y'all, buy the regular silver and make sure you buy the numismatic coins as well. What do you think Trump's strategy is, given the U.S. is screwed? Soft landing. That's the most he could do. Listen, the plane is crashing. You could decide if you want to crash and blow up in flames, a ball of flames, or you crash, you get tumbled around, you get a few broken bones and a concussion, but yet you live to go on the next day. Those are your options. Okay? Yep, fiat and precious metals always have an inverse relationship. Do the math and remember World War II, Germany, Frax. I put this up here for y'all. Yeah, the way to get the cheapest precious metals. Become a member, and when you have your precious metals, you don't, not only from at cost metals, but anywhere else, you could sell it to them, and they giving you fair spot price. No one else is doing that. And Costco does not buy back your metals either. Moving on. Saudi Arabia positioned itself as merging giant in critical minerals race with 2 trillion in untapped reserves. Yeah, it's about to get crazy. Silver price in Tokyo hits $145 per ounce. I'm going to read that again. Silver prices in Tokyo hits 145 US dollars per ounce. Guess that's how you spell FOMO in Japan. Notice this chart again. Remember, where the first place y'all saw this chart, don't lie. This is how I would determine and telling you, don't buy your house now. I don't care what Trump say or any of them say. The market is crashing. But some people don't want to listen. They just want to run, jump, and get the house now. Yeah, okay. Same silver an ounce. Okay? In Japan, it's $145 an ounce. In the UAE, it's going for $165 an ounce. The US dollars. In China, it's going for $140 an ounce. But the COMEX in US, $100 an ounce. What's going on here? The COMEX is suppressed. And that's why I say by the end of the year, we really should have a $200 silver. That's why I told you in 2025, before January 1st, 2026 hit, we will have $100 US dollars an ounce silver. And I was right. It only happened in China, though, not in the US. It was 90-something dollars, and they suppressed the price down back to 80, and then they couldn't keep it down for long, and now it's at 100. It should have been at 100. When China's own was at 100, the US own should have been at 100. Y'all get this? Y'all understand this? Okay. Moving on. Moving on. Listen to this.
Two more things. The Department of Commerce is going to start issuing its statistics on the blockchain because you are the crypto president, and we are going to put out GDP on the blockchain so people can use the blockchain for data distribution, and then we're going to make that available to the entire government so all of you can do it. We're just ironing out all the details so we can do it. Patents. Two more things. The Department of Commerce is going to start issuing its statistics on the blockchain because you are the crypto president, and we are going to put out GDP on the blockchain. So
statistics and GDP. What is GDP? In case y'all don't know, gross domestic produce, GDP. Gross domestic product is the total value of all financial goods and services produced within a country's borders in a specific time period, acting as a primary indicator of economic health. In Q3 2025, U.S. real GDP grew by 4.4%. Key components include consumption, investment, government spending, and net export. They're literally telling you that they're putting the GDP on the blockchain. Everything is going to be tokenized. And that's where XRP come in. Okay? That's why XRP have a correlation with gold and silver platinum, copper, and all other precious metals. National Bank of Poland approves plan to buy another 150 tons of gold. Whales just keep on stockpiling. Anybody that has these quarters, okay, pre-1964 quarters is made of 90% silver. I bet y'all start watching y'all quarters now. Why you think they was rushing to make all those new quarters? Remember when they started that? They needed to pull the old quarters off circulation because they needed the silver. I know some of y'all are now like, oh, now you get it. But when I was telling y'all then, y'all didn't get it. With silver above $103, the metal inside each coin is now worth $18 plus. These 8 quarters are technically $2, but the actual metal value is $150. The government didn't just devalue the dollar, they robbed us. Did y'all know this? Any of y'all that have a quarter, start looking at your money, especially those quarters, the ones from before 1964. Don't say I ain't tell y'all. I've been doing this because I know the high levels of silver in it. I've been doing this and I've been stacking it. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Did y'all know this? How many of y'all knew this? Be honest. Type in. Let me know if you knew this. Also, sidebar. Any y'all that got a silver penny before it wasn't worth that much in value because they created the silver penny at a time when they ran out of copper back then. I have a few. If you get your hands on a silver penny, hold on to it. It's worth a whole lot now. Before they were saying the one from that year that's copper is worth more. That's out the window now. Moving on. We're almost done. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. We're almost done. We are almost done. Where we at here? Absolutely insane. Shanghai silver prices are now up to a record $124 an ounce as spot silver prices in the U.S. hits $108 an ounce. This means silver prices in Shanghai are trading at a plus $6 premium to Western prices. This is one of the biggest premium on record. The physical silver shortage is growing. And I've warned y'all in many live streams. Bitcoin bugs watching silver. I had to put this up here. I figured y'all would have need a laugh. Yeah. And y'all not able to tell me nothing because I told y'all, get y'all silver and hold on to it. Just in, India buys record high silver from China instead of gold. USD and Euro are foreign stocks. India's buying up the silver. They just copped some from China. In other news, BlackRock using RLUSD stablecoin for collateral as Ripple pushes institutional adoption. So let me get this straight. BlackRock using RLUSD stablecoin for collateral as Ripple pushes international adoption. But you telling me BlackRock ain't investing in the cryptocurrency called XRP or the company Ripple? Either y'all stupid or you stupid. Moving on. 100 billion has been wiped out of the crypto market today. Yes, that's today. See a red. One, two little green there, and they end up turning red too. It's a sea of red. But look at it this way. It's on sale. Hurry up and buy. Breaking news, gold reached $5,000 for the first time in history. Yeah, we know. Do I want to show you this video? XRP is position. I think I showed y'all this video already. When y'all get time, watch it. XRP is all over on the news now. Yeah. Let's move on. Yeah. This is currently what's going on right now. You see? Currency wars. Are we winning? Look, China throwing money, US dollars over to the US, while the US is throwing gold bars. Remember, I just told you, US is selling their gold to China on the low. We're tired of winning, Mr. President. Remember, he said, you'll be winning. You'll keep winning and winning. Stock market, crypto market, everything is crazy. All red. This is real. This is not Photoshop. This is real. Everything is red. But yet you want to tell me America's going to be just fine. Okay. Lady Lisa 888 says, dimes 2 before 1964. I just looked that up yesterday, trying to see how I can get some silver. Now that I told you, I'm sure a lot of people will start doing it. Okay. The at-cost metal membership is for them to hold it for you or for you to buy. Both, but also mainly for you to be in the club. They're not gonna allow you to buy the metals, the gold or the silver for cheap. It's not happening. Just like how Costco, you cannot walk up in Costco and thinking you're just gonna go buy some silver and gold bars. You gotta become a member. And dealing with at-cost metals, it's cheaper than Costco. Becoming a member. Hey, I'm just the messenger. Yeah, this is people when silver. One person went to get it at $20. Once it hit $100 plus, all the people lining up. Y'all know who y'all are. We talked about that part already. The odds of the U.S. Shutting down on Friday reach a new all-time high. Thought y'all would want to know that. Yeah, the U.S. is pretty much in a bit of trouble. Next week, there's a chance this will be the next $20. Let that sink in. Hey, I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger. $2 billion XRP strategic treasury reserve. That's how much institutions just committed to XRP treasury strategies. 8 companies, public filing, real money. While you're debating if XRP is dead, they're buying. The XRP tread Wall Street doesn't want to go viral. Mind you, these are the companies that you know about that's making it public that they're buying up XRP. Crypto guys watching silver break $100 and gold break $5,000. I mean, it is what it is. In other news, the SEC dropped the Gemini case against Gemini. Okay. SEC dropped the case against Gemini. So that completely. So that's good news. And you know, Gemini is in cahoots with Ripple XRP. Silver orders from 1 to 10 tons are being processed across the Middle East. Serious physical size on the move, not small retail flow. Look how huge those silver bars are. Look how huge it is. Okay? Real video, not AI. Oh, no, you don't. You got to put all that music behind it. See? That's silver. You think the Middle East is playing, huh? You think this is a game, huh? Yeah, all right. Let me tell you something. I'm going to put this up here again. The At-Cost Metal link. We're already over the 2-hour mark. Nobody better call me and say, I don't know this, Brother Joel. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. Any questions before I get out of here? Any questions? Ask now or forever hold your peace. That's why I do these live streams. That's why I do these live streams. As a matter of fact, let me see if I could put this in the comment section. I'm going to put that link in the comment section. Let me see if anybody got any questions. Ask now or forever hold your peace. So, Tristan says, girl, Mother Africa been a mess. Raped, robbed, and ran through. That's a fact. That is a fact. Let me see. Questions. Thanks for the info. You're welcome, Tristone. Yeah, you see, listen, I'm not getting no big money. I'm not getting paid no big set of money for this. I'm bringing y'all the source. I do my best. Samsung is quietly moving ahead with silver. Apple is flipped. Yep. Pretty much. Apple is done off. That's why they're trying to restructuralize themselves, regain their footing. I mean, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Let me see. I'm going to put this link up for y'all one more again, so no one could ever say they didn't know. All right. I see no questions. I have enjoyed the podcast, educational and clear. Thank you. You're welcome, Erica Tolbert. You are very much welcome. True Stoner said, good night, everyone. Blessings, everyone. I guess I did a great job. No questions. All right. Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic. Joel Benjamin 528, aka Big money, Benjamin. Make sure y'all get yourself some silver, some XRP, some gold. Definitely get yourself that silver and some XRP. If y'all need help with getting that and you haven't gotten XRP already, make sure shoot me a text. I can help you. Okay? I will help you. Just shoot me a text. 929-374-3828. It's right here. Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic and all those that rock with me. We are now over the 2-hour mark. Peace.